Theoretically, an even much more paranoid conspiratorial phone call. Interview. The casting director. Part 4. Hi, my name is Jorge Villacorta. I work as a casting director in the movie Theoretically and Even Much More Paranoid Conspiratorial Phone Call. This is the fourth part. In our interview, I was explaining that the study of every social phenomenon has a date, a particular date. And if we analyze a specific case, the case must uncover what is general. And taking this particular case, we can use it at any other time, sort of substituting the information, but using the process and the logical thinking behind it, and discover what is similar to their case, and looking at it, we will recognize if the law is kept. The social law that creates the phenomenon, which is an abstraction because we are working with our mind, and our mind works with concepts that are generalizations. Then we return to our situation, talking about casting directing. By itself is a problem. We cannot say casting directing or casting director without noticing that it is a category imposed by a particular practice. And I was talking about IMDb. If you look at this category, you will notice that it corresponds to the American film industry, an amount of economic capital, social capital, cultural capital, symbolic capital. Maybe the name for this activity should be social taste, or what, or the choice the social taste make. Because it's not that the casting director the one that choose an actor. It's a combination of forces. For example, if you think the American industry, why an actor is chosen? Is it selected because he's a good actor, whatever it means, or no, in fact, a good actor, what is a good actor? In America would be his latest movie was good at the box office. If it was good, it is a wonderful actor. For example, Adam Sandler is a wonderful actor because his movies make wonderfully at the box office. Naturally, the people who pretend to have a taste different than the general public would say that the audience's taste is bad. But the main point here is that, in fact, a good performance could be in an industry that is supposedly, because there are social structures of the economy, that is supposedly interested in the box office. A good performance is the one that corresponds to a movie that made good at the box office. And what means good at the box office? Again, there is a tradition, there is a practice, etc. In fact, what I would reduce this thing would be something like the oligopoly behind the movie production in the United States imposes the categories depending on their own practice. It would be something like that. So, they invent that because they have an army of people writing publicity that later is distributed to different outlets, and it is published. Propaganda is published as news. If you see magazines like Deadline, IndieWire, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, does it continue? Does it continue? Well, you know that it is basically propaganda that helps to create this religion because it increases the faith, not the proud, etc. But this is an imposition, it's domination. They dominate and they impose the category. And if we want to understand what is behind this, we don't need to accept the category that it is given to us. In fact, you may wonder why I'm talking about this when I'm talking about casting directing, but I know, because this is my responsibility, I have to think about casting directing from a theoretical viewpoint. That's why, in this particular case, we're following different rules to choose our casting, our cast, the protagonist. Why? Because this is a different kind of production. So, the really important thing is not what was it, because, yeah, sure, I understand. What happened with those movies in America that are not focused on the box office? I'm thinking Warhol's movies, Brackish movies, experimental movies. What happened with those movies? Can they have good performances? Because if there is not a box office index, how can you say that it is a good performance? Because a good performance is the one that appears in a movie that makes a good box office, had success at the box office. Now you must understand that the good performance is written, is created by the same producers. The idea of good performance, because they are trying to monopolize the discourse on the movie. And because it's their movie, and those are their actors, they need to say that their movies and their actors and their products that had a good that had a satisfying box office. And we should remember that the box office is so obviously a given idea, and this is the definition, because we know that there is an appearance of objectivity. If we say a good performance is the one that appears in a movie that was good at the box office. But we don't know what making good at the box office really is. Does it mean that it recovers the money, that it was profitable? Does it mean that, but how much money do you have to invest? If you say, I invested $1, I recovered $3, it was a good movie at the box office. From the viewpoint that isolates the rule from the phenomenon, it was a successful movie. But we notice already here that there is no such thing as the rule. The rule, in fact, is pure propaganda, which means that we shouldn't accept that definition of a good performance.